Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Weekly Analysis and Assessment. NVIDIA finally started to make a comeback as I predicted in my previous videos. In this video, let's take a look how NVIDIA can perform next week using technical charts, fundamentals, and other data analysis. Now, let's get started. On Friday, Nvidia made a good recovery. It went up about 3%. And also after hours, you see Nvidia is up about 0.40%. So hopefully on Monday, Nvidia can go further up. If you take a look last 5 days, Nvidia is still up about 0.37%. So lots of ups and downs we noticed last week. So there was no clarity of direction. And also, if you take a look year to date, Nvidia is still positive about 179%. And if you take a look a weekly candlestick chart, you can notice that last few weeks there was some correction or sideways movement on Nvidia, as I discussed in my previous weekly analysis video. But last week you see that Nvidia made a positive recovery and it ended in a green candlestick chart. So hopefully next week, I'm guessing Nvidia can maintain this positive movement. So this correction or this sideways movement probably is comparable to this one that happened in sometime Q2, and also you see some correction happen in this July and August time frame as well. So kind of same thing happened in last few weeks, but I'm guessing Nvidia is starting next week should make some positive recovery. And based on the forward PE, Nvidia at this point is 38.93, is still not a very stable region for Nvidia. Below 40 forward PE, Nvidia cannot sustain for too long. In the last few weeks, you see that Nvidia trading slightly below 40 forward PE. So I'm guessing it's the right time for Nvidia to start gaining positive momentum. So next few weeks, I'm guessing Nvidia should make positive movement. And at the same time, as I mentioned in previous videos, that probably around 126 was a very good buy for Nvidia. We'll take a further look in technical chart session in this video. Moving on, Palantir at this point is 236, continues to go up. And Monday also, I'm expecting Palantir to go up because Palantir would start trading in Nasdaq 100 is starting from Monday next week, and that should add positive momentum on Palantir stock. SMCI at this point is 9.94, continues to go down. Early next week, I'm guessing SMCI would be under pressure because SMCI will no longer be included starting next week on Nasdaq 100. So that would add some negative momentum on SMCI. AMD at this point is 26.91, continues to go down from last few weeks, but I'm guessing same situation for AMD. Below 30 forward P is not a very sustainable region for AMD. So anytime in the future, AMD can gain positive momentum, can start recovery again. Now let's take a look quarterly percentage change analysis for Nvidia, and that's a very good analysis for Nvidia's future price assessment. Let's take a look. So you see that at this point, based on the cumulative percentage change, Nvidia is still down about 7.4% from the previous earnings report. The minimum point it touched was about 12%, and that was sometime last week. And based on the prior quarter, the minimum point Nvidia touched was about 12.8%. So probably that was a good time for Nvidia when somebody wanted to buy more Nvidia stock, probably around 126, that would make about 12 to 13% negative cumulative percentage change. So we'll further take a look in the next session when we talk about Fibonacci levels. You see a 90-day hourly interval chart for NVIDIA. As you can notice that NVIDIA tried to go below 126 one more time in the last week, but it could not sustain and it got a pullback from there. So at this point, NVIDIA is trading around 135. As I mentioned in my previous videos that 126.7 is a very strong support level. So any movement below 126 may not be sustainable for Nvidia unless some fundamentals changes for Nvidia. So at this point, I do not see any fundamentals have changed for Nvidia. Next level of resistance is at 140.58. So it would be interesting to see in the next week Nvidia can be able to break 140 or not. Okay, but I'm guessing Nvidia should try to test 140 level next week. And you guys may be wondering what happened on Friday, why all of a sudden Nvidia went up. So it's not Nvidia. Most of the stocks were up on Friday. Let's take a look at my watch list. So you see on my watch list, most of the stocks are green with Nvidia 3.08% up, Palantir, SMCI, SoundHound, Avago, AMD, all were up on Friday. And the reason is the PC index data that came positive for the market. Let's take a look. On your screen, you see the recent PC index data and also the historical data. So on Friday, the PC index came 2.4% versus 2.5%, and that's below the forecast. And that was a good sign. As I mentioned in a previous video, that if the inflation numbers goes down, that will be the positive signal for the market. Okay, because overall market do not want to see inflation is going up because that would add additional pressure on Fed to further slow down the rate cut. Now let's take a look core PC index. The core PC index came 2.8% versus the forecast 2.9%. So again, it came lower than the forecast, and that's also a good sign. Now, let's take a look some news regarding Nvidia. So you see some news regarding Nvidia and overall the market on your screen. Let's start with this one that says outlook on semiconductors remain attractive with AI being key driver. Morgan Stanley. So this tells that, overall outlook and the future situation remains positive for the AI sector. So as we noted in last few weeks or so, AI stocks are under pressure and that could be temporary correction. So anytime in the future, the good time for the AI stocks can come back, including Nvidia and AMD. Now let's take a look. This one that says Nvidia secures EU approval for run AI deal, US probes China export breach. Probably you already know that US started investigation on Nvidia and some other AI companies as well because some of the high performance chips were still being sold in China and that violated US restriction on those chips. And now let's take a look this one and this talks about China takes a shot at Nvidia. It could backfire on Beijing. So let's open this one. As you're also probably aware of that China also started some investigation regarding anti-monopoly arm announced on investigation on December 9th regarding US chipmaker Nvidia and Israel-based Mellanox Technologies. You see that China also started retaliating to US regarding AI chip sector sale and the monopoly. So I'm guessing Nvidia current price already baked in those kind of investigations and not gonna impact Nvidia's stock price too big in the near future. So I guess that's all about news regarding Nvidia. And also, this concludes my weekly analysis and assessment regarding Nvidia. So if I summarize today's discussion, overall, I think next week would be positive for Nvidia, and Nvidia should make more recovery next week. And also, around 126 was a good buy point for Nvidia. If you guys have missed, I'm sorry about that, but those who already utilized that chance, congratulations to those investors. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more in the next video. Take care.